Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the December 14th, Tuesday edition of the AM Show, hosted live on the AlphaMint Discord. I'm your host, R2Degen, and I am joined with me, as always, by Mr. Free Market Capitalist.
Hey now.
Yesterday was a incredibly eventful day. Lots of stuff happening, lots of drama, lots of action, and it was it was one of the faster 24 hours I can remember in recent history. So how was your day?
Really great, really tiring. There was it was a lot of stuff happening, not just in the specific projects we're all really bullish on, but in the NFT industry, stuff that took, I think, even, people who watch this space closely by size. So I think by midnight, Cobain and I both said we were falling asleep on voice chat because a lot of us were just watching this lemon action as much as we could. We wanted to snipe some good ones, maybe trade some floors, take a little profit. So great day, tiring, happy to be here this morning.
Yeah, tons of stuff happening. It was I had to go out. I had some parental duties to do, of course, which I love doing, but I was glued to my phone to watch all of the action go down, and I was out on the road during the biggest announcement of them all, which we will touch on later on in the show. We actually have a surprising amount of stuff to talk about before then as well. And yesterday we kind of hinted at the fact that we could probably have 4 or 5 days of content just from some of these topics, and it's not only looking like that's true, it's actually adding on to it. It's almost like we need another show or something.
Yeah, it was the weekend was so jam-packed with stuff, and it was still all leading to the beginning of the week, which was jam-packed with stuff. This is a really busy bear market, as people like to call it, and we're not seeing that easy trader frothy pump that we saw during the really, really, violent bull market we had earlier this year. But there's obviously new money that came into NFTs and is here to stay. This is what you're seeing right now is the new NFT market. Like, this is the lull, and when it comes back, it's going to come back 10 times stronger like it has each time.
Obviously a big topic we're going to talk about today is the lemons, and I did just see a member of our audience maybe do a little bit of sweep in there.
Yeah,
might have just saw something, but I won't say anything. Anyways, let's just jump into the crypto thing. We'll get that out of the way. Actually, if we were crypto focused, there'd be lots to talk about here too. But Bitcoin, dipping down below 47,000. I think it was even lower than that for a little bit. Ethereum kind of hit, I think, around 3,600 for a bit, sitting at about 3,700 right now. And crypto has kind of resumed the downtrend that we were hoping it was out of last week. About a week ago Friday, things got really messy, and then it seemed to stabilize, and now we're kind of back in this fall. It's not free fall, but we are going to be testing some support levels, and it does matter that they hold on this run.
Yep, bears have the advantage again. We talked about how we had the chart was it was bearish on the little crash we had the other week, then it firmed up. And then it was kind of looking 50-50, which way could the chart go? And it's decidedly bearish right now. We're near some support levels that, if lost, indicate maybe another 10% down in both spot prices on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think that if you are bullish long term, being in NFTs is a way to stack ETH when ETH falls. I honestly don't even watch spot anymore on a daily, but I don't really care what it does. I just want to know how much ETH I can stack in NFTs before it eventually runs, because I don't care what happens. I know that we could have mini crashes and peaks and valleys, but if you believe in the power of this network long term, I think the goal is just stack ETH, and right now it's easier to stack ETH. So
Yeah, it is shaky. I mean, you don't really want to see Ethereum drop below 3,700 for any duration of time. Bitcoin's doing about the same with his 46,000, and yeah, I mean it's not out of the woods yet. Definitely not saying that it's going to drop below there, but there's some testing to be done, that's for sure. And I think if it recovers from there, it's going to be an incredibly healthy sign if these support levels continue to hold.
Crypto has gone as far as it can go on speculation alone. And we've seen this develop now over 4 years. And a lot of people talk about, most coins are promises. NFTs are not. NFTs are a product. You may say you want a roadmap and utility and all that bullshit, but at its face, you're giving someone ETH for this JPEG, right? Or this location where the JPEG is, however you want to frame it. That's a use case for crypto. It's real. And now with this move by Nike yesterday buying Artifact, we are seeing how crypto is going to be adopted. And we need, at this point, mainstream adoption if we're going to get spot prices on these coins higher. What you're seeing right now, you've run out of speculative early investors. All the money is here. We need new money. That's why we're stuck in this area, and NFTs are going to be how it comes in.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite little, math statements was from Kathy Woods of the ARK ETF, brand. Kathy, yeah, and she basically just said if all of the Fortune 500 companies allocated 1% of their, I think it was like their free cash flow or whatever, into Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin would be $500,000. So that just goes to show the amount of money that is sitting on the sidelines and how little that they would have to do to really make this thing take off. We're not there yet. But it is coming, and we actually we might as well just move into the next topic. I was going to point out that DeSo is up 35% today, but we're not going to talk about that. Instead, let's move into that. Yeah, Dogecoin rockets 20% after Elon Musk says Tesla will use for merch payments. Elon Musk has announced that Tesla will accept Dogecoin for merchandise payments and quote unquote see how it goes. Elon is a love-hate relationship for a lot of people. I mean, he does some really incredible things. I love the stuff that he does with SpaceX. I think Teslas are beautiful cars, and obviously the Tesla stock has just done ungodly compared to the rest of the automotive industry. But he does like to tease and toy with the crypto markets, and he's very on again, off again. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, maybe I'll accept it, maybe I won't. But going back to my previous statement about, these companies adopting crypto, this is what it's going to take. And we talk about politicians being worried about it, or politicians trying to fight back or maybe be favorable about it. If Tesla and Apple outright say like, yeah, cryptos are our jam now, we're doing it, like the American government is not fighting back against those companies. They are not going to risk the amount of people that they employ, the amount of money that they generate for the economy. They're not going to risk those companies leaving the United States. And so, yeah, them, Elon doing this, or, Apple, I have to believe they're inevitably going to get into the game, and it will be a game changer.
I mean, we know Elon loves Dogecoin. I believe, didn't he hire the current dev working on it? Because like the core devs left or so. I don't know. We know he has an affinity for Dogecoin.
Loves the Dogecoin.
People have expected him to integrate it for a while. I do believe it's one of those coins that's just not going away. It's a currency Gen Z has adopted and decided is money. I'm not predicting crazy high prices necessarily, but I think that's a coin that's going to live forever type of thing. And yeah, it's, when Tesla and Apple, the bellwethers of the United States, decide to go crypto, that's really going to, be a big deal. We're waiting for it. They obviously have a ton of considerations. And of course, they're considering government regulation and legal action, but I think they know how powerful they are. They just, you want to do it as delicately as possible. So
Yeah, it's
A matter of time.
yep, matter of time, not something that's going to happen all at once, but it is slowly then suddenly, like they say. You look back and all of a sudden the world has changed around you. On that note, and I'm not even going to talk too much about this, but I just love these headlines. Bank of England again warns crypto could pose threat to the financial system. To that I say, no shit.
Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point?
Yeah, exactly. They're scared, and the Bank of England in particular has been is screaming it from the rooftops that they don't want this to exist, and makes me feel tingly inside.
We speculate that Bitcoin is English, right? Like that. I mean, isn't that the best evidence we have that like a bunch of English professors met somewhere in the United States to conspire to make this?
There have been theories, yeah, lots of theories about
Yeah.
that, but no, Craig Wright is Satoshi. You know that. Okay, moving on. WGMI, nothing crazy going on there. Just one thing that popped up. Not sure if anybody's involved in it, but BYO Pills having a good little run there, up 95, 100% over the last week, and that was a project that had launched about 5 months ago and is doing really well. So not sure if that crept up on anybody's radar or if anybody has some color they want to add to that later, but I thought it was pretty cool. I did check them out a little bit. They look cool. They are like the first metaverse consumable again about 5 months ago. What's that?
Has anyone consumed them?
I don't know, but I'm sure some of the artifact ones look like they've consumed a few of them, if I'm being honest with you. Other than that, Etherorcs kind of still hovering around that list, but the floors have been all over the place, and they're hard to get a grasp of now. So
we have to make a quick note that we're still investigating and don't know too much about, but there's been a few collections seeing listings disappear, and we're not just talking about the underlying JPEG. We're talking about the entire NFT disappearing from people's
let's just move into that then. Keep going.
I wanted to touch that the Etherorcs floor looks like it's 1.75 right now, but by all indications all the listings underneath have somehow been removed from the site. I don't think, obviously the NFT hasn't been removed from your wallet. It's just about what is being shown on OpenSea, which is, the only place you could sell it. So obviously it's a big fucking deal. It's not small. We're not sure what's going on. This started with the Crypto Bulls collection. That was what a cook out of nowhere that nobody expected. A 3D, really good looking bulls. Shout out Sales God. He's wearing one right now. They started disappearing from OpenSea yesterday. People were like, what's going on? They didn't know if it was project specific, like were they banned or did something go wrong? Then it started happening to crypto voxels and now Etherorcs this morning. So still under investigation. We are not sure, but do not trust floors. Go look at activity before you list anything. Be very careful out there right now. Do not accidentally list something way under.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff going on the on the floors and the listings there. It looked like everything was getting listed for the orcs under 1 ETH, and then all of the listings stopped for about 6 hours. There haven't been any sales for 6 hours. The floor seems to be back up. All of the listings are higher. It's all over the place. And it's really unfortunate that OpenSea is in this position that they really do hold all of the cards. This is the one true place to trade a large swath of NFTs, and I don't know what it is. Obviously there's something to do with these specific projects that are giving them grief. I don't think it's an instance that these are getting delisted or anything like that. The Crypto Bulls said they're working with OpenSea to fix this issue. Collection is back online, but they're still facing some bugs. But it just seems to be like a daily topic about how OpenSea is shitting the bed on something. Now, I'm not a dev. I'm not a programmer or software developer. I don't know any of that stuff, so I have no idea the complexity that goes into it. I'm sure it's substantial, but we also do know the amount of money that OpenSea brings in. You see them have these days where they're doing $100 million in volume, and they're taking a 2.5% cut of everything that they're doing. And it just blows my mind that OpenSea can be this unreliable, and it really is a shame because you watch people that hold these assets that are in the middle of plays or are watching stuff, and then, you know, on OpenSea's failure, or I guess, you know, there's some, you know, thought that the Amazon Web Services are struggling as well. But like, just the whole thing is very frustrating, especially when these, you know, really illiquid markets start to freeze up. The floors just drop so fast on them, right? Because the second that nobody can buy, but they can list, or the floor price isn't being listed correctly, and you know, it just causes so much confusion that you know, people get burned. People get burned really badly on it, and it's really unfortunate to see. Like Crypto Bulls, they only have 6 items listed, or up total right now. EtherOrcs, there's obviously some stuff going on there, and yeah, it's very frustrating that they hold the keys to the NFT world, and it's this constant of a discussion. I get it. Every once in a while, shit happens, but this is a daily basis. Even yesterday, trying to do the show, like couldn't get on it.
It's hard enough being worried about being rugged by shady projects. We don't need to be rugged by OpenSea constantly. And I mean, man, AlphaMint had like this amazing day a few weeks ago where we were all in the right projects. They were all pumping at the same time, and we just got rugged by OpenSea in a similar fashion. So it's
yeah, that was one of the first days that everyone was like, "Oh, the bull market is back!" Like there was just shit was flying around, and then like OpenSea just decided to like turn their bandwidth down because of the bear market, and they're like, "Oh shit." I don't know, whatever. Anyways, we don't have to talk tons about this. If you're involved in any of these projects, or you see anything weird going on with your portfolio or your NFTs, like don't panic. They don't randomly just disappear. And if they've left your wallet, you've got some other problems. But you can see that all on Etherscan. But yeah, OpenSea having some difficulties.
Yeah.
Talking about other projects having some difficulties, I am not super well versed in this, but I know you did some digging and tried to figure out what happened. We alluded to it on the show yesterday. Pudgy Penguins is in complete disarray, and it seems to be having a fall from grace with some internal strife. Lots of drama on Twitter, and the floor price is taking a beating as such.
You know, this was the everyman's project. This project kind of defined the average person getting rich on the last cycle. Pudgy Penguins was a mint at 0.02. No one believed in it, blah, blah, blah. It was run by Cole, who is considered, you know, not a great guy by some people. So it had some just weird vibes around it, and then it ripped. And a few influencers like the homie 0x Elmo kind of got famous on being a penguin whale. And these things, I think they got up to a 5 ETH floor during the bull. But even when it crashed, they would hold a 2 ETH floor. And you really had to hand it to that community. These people were strong. They never changed their PFPs. They were having Pudgy Penguin meetups in Miami. This collection really seemed to just have the secret sauce of what makes an NFT an elite or a blue chip. And the drama over the weekend was ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you had to be in that community to see it coming. I don't know if people anticipated this or what was the deal. But after pretty much holding this 2 ETH floor, this drama starts to occur within the community with their community manager. I don't know him at all. I'm not part of that community, but he was apparently working out a deal with the company to be a full-time community manager for them. They were negotiating behind the scenes. He requested, this is his side of the story, I'd like to say. He requested a contract, and they apparently agreed to terms, but before they sent him a contract, they announced him as their new community manager. Now, this is a faux pas. I do not deny this. I don't know if it actually happened because really, if you listen to both of these spaces, the conclusion made by this, the conclusion is that both sides here seem to not be telling the truth or be hiding things. And this drama just blew up on spaces on Twitter, where there were rival Twitter spaces going on at the same time with the Pudgy Penguin company on one and this community manager on the other. The community manager had 2,600 listeners to his spaces. The Pudgy Penguins company had 1,300. All right. So you can see where at least the popular opinion was with this. And it was a drag out, he said, she said fight about you guys said you were going to give me a contract and then you didn't and blah, 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 blah. But in the end, it came out that there was a little bit of controversy that the community manager had planned all of this as theater, and some private chats were released that showed him saying that him and some influencers who were using fake names, and we don't know who the influencers are, were going to, quote, FUD Pudgy Penguins to zero. And after this giant melee on Twitter Spaces, Pudgy Penguins crashed all the way down to 0.5, I believe. I'm not sure where they're sitting right now. They may have recovered a bit.
Can I just
not.
ask a quick, like, so
Sure.
was that exchange where they said they were going to FUD Pudgy Penguins to zero before or after the faux pas of announcing he was hired, before that, like the contract had been agreed upon?
It was implied this was happening like weeks before.
Okay, so that's very confusing.
Like this was all some sort of orchestrated. I don't know if he had begun negotiations, didn't like the vibe he was getting, then came up with this plan, or he came up with this plan before he even got into negotiations, or it's all bullshit. This was I don't want to admonish this guy or say he's guilty. This was one clip. We all joke around. If you took a random clip from any chat room, you could make somebody look like they were fudding any. We all make fun of our projects, the things we're doing. We say things. Who knows? Who knows if they were? Every statement in that chat, there was an LOL, an LAMAO. You know, I'm not saying they weren't serious, but we can't conclude anything. And all it was a terrible, terrible look on Pudgy Penguins. And to me, even this community manager, and I understand he's universally loved, and I don't know him, so I do not want to judge here. But as an outsider who's only seen this project from the outside and just respected what it did, this came off as a bad look for everybody, to somebody who doesn't know anything. So I'm assuming most people who don't know anything had the same impression as I did.
Yeah, a lot of he said, she said going on here. Definitely a lot of speculation, but it is weird. I'm curious as to how those text exchanges got leaked in the first place. I don't know. What a mess. And this is what frustrates me about the entire situation, is that there's people that definitely bought towards the top to be a part of the Pudgy Penguins community, and it was likely a long-term hold for them. People that believe in this community, people that participate in it and hold on to them for generational wealth or whatever. And as you kind of mentioned before, it was the story of the everyman participating in a mint or getting in early on a project and watching it moon and whatnot. And now I'm sure there's a lot of people with a sour taste in their mouth as they just watch their own assets just get pummeled by the people that they trusted to be like the shepherds of their community. And I think that's just, I think it's shit, regardless of who's responsible for it or what was actually going on. And it's very unfortunate that happens. It's just, at some point you got to be able to be adults about things and just sit down behind closed doors and just work it out, right? Like it's not, at the end of the day, it's not them that's paying the price. It's the holders, right? There's almost 5,000 holders. It is not 5,000 whales. I can assure you that much.
That's the point. I mean, this was a rags to riches story, right? It was a 0.02 mint. Yep. And you're not taking your community into consideration when you drag stuff out into the street like this. So it was a bad look on everybody's part. You should have taken the community at least a little bit into your thoughts before you did this.
Yeah, I mean, I respectfully disagree. Like, you should be taking the community into every thought you have when you're doing stuff like this, right? I know that you're just being. I know you're just talking. I wasn't an attack on you, but like it's just. I don't know. I just think it's deplorable. So it just sucks. I hope they get their shit together. I hope that the people that are holding it don't pay the price too much. So
sitting at 0.8 right now on OpenSea, which is at least a 50% fall from where they were.
I mean, obviously we'll be watching it. I don't want to mud around in the gossip too much, but it was a big story. It's a big project in the NFT space, and you hate to see it. On a better note, though, our favorite project of seems to be the last week or two was, and I'm not talking about Artifact, with the Little Lemon friends, finally did their reveal. I shouldn't say finally, like it was a long time, but it felt like a long time with my JPEG sitting in there unrevealed, and we were waiting. And privately, I did say to you, it wasn't FUD. I just, I was looking at the template of the friends. I was looking at some of the sneak peeks, which I thought were good, but I had a little bit of a worry that, I said to you, I'm like, I'm not sure how much they can actually do with this. I'm not sure if there will be enough variety to really make these like stand out and be a lot of fun. And I'm more than happy to admit that I was incredibly wrong about those fears.
Yeah, I think what makes Cool Cats such a great project are they nailed the traits better than anybody. And Bored Apes did a great job as well. But the Cool Cat traits are just fun and varied, and there's just so much going on, and they're cute and affable, and Lemon struck that balance perfectly. I am rocking right now a floor lemon. All right. I got 5 rares that I love. I can't even decide which lemons I want to rock, but this one I love it today. I mean, it grabbed me. I'm looking at the lemons in the audience. The gold hoodie, black hoodie with the baby lemon on top, bag holder. What a sick lemon. I was so impressed with all these traits. Even the traits that don't necessarily make sense together look good. Like, they're fun. They're funny. I mean, I think that this collection literally fired on all cylinders. It's currently sitting a little over 100% from mint. It didn't get any kind of violent pump yet, but I did not sell any of my 75. In fact, I bought 6 more. I have WETH offers open on other ones, and I have a 1 ETH offer right now on one that is not being accepted, if you want to understand how people feel about these lemons. And even this morning, I go into the Lemon Discord, and all they're talking about in there is in businesses, Lemon holding the Cool Cat, which is the grail Cool Cat lemon. If you don't know, some of the lemons have a blue cat as an accessory, and many of the Cool Cat whales, including Klon, were already willing to pay quite the ransom to get these Cool Cat lemons. And the cleanest one with the most traits was minted by none other than our own in business, and it is still the talk of the Lemon Discord this morning. I know he's not giving it up, but everybody wants it. And we were so happy with how it went. Cenarius did a few AMAs and spaces and was all over the place. And we saw Klon change his PFP to a lemon. And Psyduck bought his 100th Cool Cat yesterday and started to say, and went on a little thread about why Cool Cats were his favorite project. So I couldn't help myself but hop in with a comment saying, I feel the same way about lemons. He liked my comment, and behold, an hour later, he joined the Lemons Discord, is lurking around there right now, and I would keep an eye on that floor today because I believe he is plotting his move as we speak.
Yeah, we there's lots going on there. Obviously, the Cool Cats are in on this. The reveal happened, and I have to say, we were all in the Degen dojo, and then eventually moved to the voice chat, and we're watching this all go down. And people were so excited to share all of them that they got, right? And like, we're looking at them, and there's so many ones that you're like, oh, that's cool. Oh, look at this one. Oh, check this one out. I mean, we were sharing ones we were just finding on OpenSea that weren't even ours. And lo and behold, as the reveal starts to happen and you start to get, a pretty good grasp of all of the rarity traits, you start to realize a lot of these ones that we were like gushing over, like you said, are just floors. And I think you know, and I think that's the sign of an incredibly good project, especially because you can, pardon me, you can tell which ones are the rares even on top of that, right? You
Yeah.
see the hoodies, you go, oh damn, like the hoodies are good. There's the one with the glowing horns and the glowing eyes. It's the one of one. There was the real lemon one of one, which I thought
Oh
was
my god,
absolutely hilarious. Just like to
brilliant.
just throw in there was so good.
Yeah.
You know, and another kind of thesis that we have around here, and this is courtesy of Scott, is watch the sales, right? Watch what's going on with them, watch the floor. And for a long time the floor was fighting with 0.04, 0.05. You know, you were still getting 4 ETH sales, 2.5 ETH sales, 2 ETH sales, despite the floors being so low. And whenever you see sales in a project that's 50, 100x the floor, you know that there's something going on there. Now, in the grand scheme of things, is 4 ETH a lot? No, you watch people spend 100 ETH on an artifact, you watch them spend 125 on a mecha. And again, that is substantially above the floor, but it just goes to show you that they're willing to pay above that high, or they're willing to pay a high disparity in price between the rares and the floors. But as I said before, like we were sharing them all, and we were all like, "That one's super clean. That one looks great. Oh my god, this would be a great profile picture." I think almost everybody in the Degen Dojo was changing their name and their profile picture to lemons, and they all looked good. We were a good looking group of degens in that dojo yesterday, and still today. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do it live. The voice chat was so vibrant, and we were all just having a good time. It wasn't even a flipper mentality. So many people were like, "Dude, I don't even want to sell these," and I can't believe that it's just our. I can't believe that it would just be our community that's on that boat. Now, you know, we were giving it its fair shake, absolutely, but you know, the floor almost, it was kind of flirting with 0.1, plenty of sales above 0.1 and above 0.2, but yeah, it was just it was a lot of fun, and I'm so happy for Cenarius. And I just wanted to talk about the art style, because that was one of the things that I was a little bit concerned about. How much can you do with it? And I'm looking at it, and one of the brilliant things that they did was all of the traits that they have are all using the same color palette. So so much of the differentiating traits match up with each other, even though, like, I'm looking at a mushroom head right now with a samurai base. They're both red. They're both completely separate traits. They don't technically match up with each other, but they look good together because they're using the same color palette, the backgrounds, the lemon palette, like all of that stuff looks so good. So I'm so impressed with this project. And, you know, I feel bad for even having any doubts. They really just, they really did a great job with this. Now, obviously we have our bags, we hold them and whatnot. And, you know, but this isn't disingenuous. Like I'm very, very pleasantly surprised by this,
Yeah,
and we were hyped on him.
not
To be surprised on top of that is amazing.
is yeah. I'm not ashamed to say I was crying when these things were revealed. It was they're beautiful. I mean, there's no ways about it. You know, Cenarius pulled it off. He's a designer. And I think it really comes through, like, in the point that Cobain made, that this, when there's so much to consider just beyond, is this a good drawing, you know? And when you're a designer, you think about those things, and it just came through brilliantly in his project. So congratulations, Cenarius.
Yeah, great stuff. And I'm sure there will be more to come. As you said, Psyduck's lurking around. And, you know, I got to believe that maybe, especially with the price point still being like, it's still cheap. Like, sure, it was almost 4x mint price, which is great. The contract was great. So even then, it's not that expensive. But I got to believe that there's going to be some people willing to load up on these and hold them for a while. And I don't know. Like, I'd be surprised to even find out that you sell any of them.
Yeah, I have no intent to sell any of these. So I wasn't around for the Cool Cats launch, but Maury's feels very similar to how this was playing out, as far as collectors looking to get the ones they like and the rares, and just the way the collection works, even with the commons, which is, you know, the same thing as Maury's to me. So I have high hopes, and I know it's going to get there. Bullish lemons.
Bullish, long on the lemons. There we
Long
go.
lemons.
Uh, okay, now let's move on to the news of the day. As much as the lemons were maybe the news of AlphaMint's day, but yeah, CloneX dropping a bomb, and actually, in fact, it was the Nike CEO dropping the bomb that they had. Just got to pull up the article here. Acquired Artifact Studios. No details on how much this is for. But this was dropped, and the world exploded as we've known it. There was a lot of controversy, a lot of drama surrounding the constant delays of the Artifact launch. The botched kind of mint price, or sorry, not mint price, the botched Dutch auction, how they handled it after, gifting more CloneXs to random people. Even as of yesterday, talking about the license. Right. While talking about the licensing rights and how they kind of rugged their holders after the reveal about that, finding out that they held back 7 of the 16 Murakamis for the team, which just felt like a shitty move after they succeeded to the tune of $100 million. And all of a sudden, all of this is forgotten about by Nike acquiring the sneaker studio. Now you have some suspicions that Adidas maybe got wind of this purchase, because this is not something that happens overnight. Nike, while they might be able to move relatively quickly and throw a large team at it, still has to do their diligence, especially because they aren't partnering with them, they are acquiring them. They're bringing them into the fold, so there's diligence. There's publicly traded. Yep, right. Lots of stuff, lots of hoops to jump through in that regard. And you suspect that maybe Adidas got wind of this and drummed up a partnership with the Punks and the Apes real quick to try and front run that news, which they did. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. Why don't we just start with your take? There's been a lot of ups and downs for you in the past month with Artifact, and I think we're culminating in a giant up here.
Yeah, I think that Artifact, for being what everybody calls the most hyped drop, was not very hyped by the team. I think that it was a very, very strange phenomena where this team was not putting out a lot of PR. They were not saying a lot about the project. All they were doing the whole time was putting out leaks and things like this. And they kept saying, well, we have more, you're going to see, we're working on something behind the scenes. And as early as 2 months ago, in September, there were rumors that not only were they being acquired, but that they had already been acquired. Now, I don't know if that was true at the time, and people were speculating as to which companies it was, and I'm sure Nike was brought up. But when Adidas announced signing with Apes a few weeks ago, I think a little light bulb went off in a lot of people's heads that it could be Nike. It was probably Nike. There was smoke, though apparently nobody had direct knowledge except people very close to the team. And there seemed to be some controversy with insider trading of CloneX, of a very suspicious tweet by a cousin of one of the executives saying to buy CloneX, and she put like all her life savings into buying the vials or whatever. The vials this morning, after this news came out, are sitting around 11.5 Ethereum. Before the news came out, they were a little under 4. Or
just checked right now, 12 ETH right now.
Oh, they're 12 ETH right now. Yeah, I think they could get to 15 or 20 just on, this news usually takes a while to get around the world. And when your average influencer rich person who doesn't know anything about crypto finds out the next luxury accessory they have to buy is on OpenSea, there's a little bit of friction into getting. I could see this project pumping for a few days as people figure out how to buy these things, right? But you could not have had bigger news. Artifact tried to tell us without telling us. They kept saying they had more. And ardent supporters like me believed them. And we felt pretty damn stupid when the launch finally came. They hadn't really announced this secret thing we knew that they said they kept having. They botched it in just a crazy way. And the whole time they're like, no, you shouldn't care. Buy it. Trust us. And people after a while were like, no, fuck, this is too much. We don't trust you. And they were really looking at you winking like, no, you really need to buy these things at 2E. We are not lowering the. They obviously knew what this Nike news would do. The underlying collection has a 6 floor right now. The vials have a 12 because you still have the chance of getting a rare. And, you know, this is as big a news as the NFT market has ever seen. I think it's bigger than Adidas because I believe Adidas was a response to this, as we knew this was happening before Adidas was happening. So I think this is the biggest thing to ever happen to NFT.
I think it puts into context a lot of the actions of the team that led up to this too. I got to believe that some of the the delays in the actual mint process and whatnot were due to maybe some delays or hiccups in the actual acquisition of CloneX, and that there was some very deliberate timing that was being planned out here, where it was, pre-sale mint, public mint, reveal, and then, let the reveal kind of play out as it is, then drop that kind of bomb, which is all good. I mean, that's just, marketing 101 is just maintain your hype cycle and keep the ball rolling. I still have such mixed feelings about some of the actions, though. Like I do think that there was a lot of Nike's on board. We don't fucking care. Like I still think that holding back the Murakamis is just an absolute joke. But I mean, this is not something that's going to cause me to lose any sleep. But the insider trading thing is probably the most interesting thing of the story. Now, as we know, NFTs aren't securities. CloneX is a Web3 based company that's producing said NFTs, and maybe remains to be seen how this ends up playing out. But I do have to wonder with Nike how it's going to be perceived internally there. Obviously, the announcement's been made, but there's ways that things could be undone. Now, I don't think that that's going to be happening, but NFTs outside of Twitter and our own, Discord kind of bubbles are still in the laugh at you phase, right? You say first they laugh at you, then they fight you, then they join you. Crypto's kind of in that then they fight you phase, right? But NFTs, if you go on to Instagram and you look at these big celebrities that decide to partner with an NFT or drop their own, I mean, they get blasted by their fans. They might have 2, 3, 10 million followers, and it is just like pure trash them on those social media platforms, right? So when you kind of venture outside of Twitter, this is how they're viewed. For Nike, let's just pull a random number out of our ass and say they're acquiring Artifact for $100 million. This isn't a big purchase for Nike, but you gotta think that they're going out on the line and joining the metaverse, joining these Web3 companies, absorbing them, how it's going to look from their fan base, especially if these ideas of insider trading start to leak out, and it just feels like the Wild West, and it feels like a joke. Do I think that this is going to fall apart? Maybe not, but I do think it's a tough look for Artifact again, to be honest with you.
So if you don't know how I got into Artifact, I bought a collaboration they did with Ferocious, who is the most prolific young artist in NFTs. He made 3 types of shoes with them. And if you had bought these shoes, they gave you the right to buy a certain amount of CloneX. Now, we didn't know about CloneX. We didn't know these were going to be mint pat. All I thought I was getting were these shoes and this NFT. And I was like, well, the NFT will be worth money one day because it's ferocious, and the shoes are going to be a collector's item, right? So to get these shoes, it took Artifact, I think, 7 months with a custom Italian shoemaker to make them and get all the orders made and sent out to everybody. Mind you, there is no smooth way for physical deliverables in NFTs right now, right? You got to have your own website, there's friction, whatever. I think this partnership they're doing with Nike is such a no-brainer and so brilliant from both sides, because Artifact originally started making clothes for the metaverse, right? If we are going to accept the concept that this metaverse is going to be a big thing and people are going to want to be fashionable in it and wear clothes, I can see young Nike executives forwardly thinking. We need to partner with a company that already knows how to make internet close. So this is just as synergistic and brilliant a partnership as it gets. I applaud Artifact and Nike, and I think the FUD is unwarranted.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that are sitting on the sidelines that now are going to wish that they had partaken in it. Myself being one of them, but I'm not going to be screaming from the rooftops that I hate Artifact with every bone in my body for this because I didn't buy. Because I know if I bought them, I would be on the other side just, giving you a fist bump like we fucking made it right now. But I still just not really overly impressed with how they conducted themselves. But it is what it is. I mean, again, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
I make no excuse for their launch and subsequent behavior.
No, I'm not. I'm not expecting you to.
It was bad. It was terrible.
Illidan did bring up one interesting thing in the chat up here is, do you think that the vials keep going up like unopened boxes of shoes? And we had this conversation yesterday, but, I do. Like, I think that they're the, unopened OG Pokemon card packs and whatnot. Like, there's still that hope that there's something valuable in there. And
in
as
retrospect, this bridge was brilliant because now I have such an easier decision, right? My little thing is, I'm good at selling rares, and whether that's just my bias or whether it's true or not, I don't have to worry about selling a rare. I get a 1 in 20,000 shot, or whatever the number is now. I get a 1 in X shot to pull a rare, but it's not decided yet. Whoever takes that CloneX, it's a gamble for everybody. There's no metadata. There's no possibility to sell your rare. It's random when you bridge it, so makes it easier to get rid of that vial. Though the 10% hurts. But what are you gonna do?
The 10% hurts, but I gotta believe that maybe there's the best play in all of this is if you believe in the project and you believe that the underlying asset that could come out of that vial is going to continue to go up, that those things start to become disproportionately expensive.
Imagine if there were 2 vials left and one was a 1 of 1 Murakami and one was a human.
Are you saying this because you conveniently hold 2 vials? Is that the plan here?
No.
I was just like, well, you're going that long, eh?
Because it's 6 months, right? This isn't forever. You can't hold this vial indefinitely. The bridge is going to close in 6 months, so you need to bridge.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize. Oh, so there's an added kind of.
Yeah. This is very interesting. I'm not in a hurry.
I don't like that. They should just leave it up indefinitely. Let it ride.
Honestly, I listed it at 15. If we get up to 14, I may have to consider. I don't know.
Jesus.
It's tough because what's the rush, right? Is CloneX going to crash? And is it going to bring the vials down that much if it's still a lottery ticket to pull one of these Murakamis? I don't know. So I don't know. It's a good hold right now.
We're in the buy into the hype. It's in the hype cycle right now. The volume is incredibly high.
I'd probably take 15.
Do I think that this is going to continue to run up to a 10 ETH floor on the CloneX? I'm not right now. Maybe eventually. I have a hard time believing it won't with it being Nike now. But
it's mind-boggling.
The vials are going to ebb and flow with it. Yeah, sorry, go.
What's mind-boggling, man? We talked about this is a 20K collection. Remember how that was the only thing? When's the last time someone brought up it was a 20K collection?
Well, that's because 19,000 of them look like shit. Sorry. No, honestly,
Go ahead. No, layer it on. Let the haters come. This
is a 1K collection with 19,000 tag-alongs.
All right, that's a good joke. I tip my hat to you. I tip my frosting to you, sir.
No, it's all good. You know what? I get it. They're metaverse characters. These are intended to be animated, live action. You're supposed to be using them. They're interacted with, and I get it. I'm okay with that. I do think when you look at the juxtaposition between Lemons, which just kind of nailed it, and then you look at the floors of these, I can't dispute the quality of them. They look good. I just think that a lot of them are very boring. That's all I got.
Yep.
So, again, there's going to be tons more to talk about this. This is definitely not the last we're hearing about Artifact, especially with that mad dash up to the 6 ETH floor. Like, does it hold from there? Does it go higher? Does it go lower? We don't know. I'm not even going to speculate on it.
Yeah, and we don't know what this project is. I have a feeling they have a lot of announcements as to like how these things are going to be more than NFTs in the short term, even. And I know they're going to have a physical. Like, I think this is what they were planning with Nike, is a special meta marketplace for both physical wearables and metaverse wearables. So, I think there's very exciting, groundbreaking news to come with this collection. It's probably, probably got to get myself a floor if I sell my vial.
I will say this. If you take out some of the missteps that they've made, I don't think, I'm not going to beat that horse.
He did.
Yeah. But if you take out some of the missteps that they made, I do think that there's potential that you look back on this and this ends up being a masterclass in marketing. Everything is laying out perfectly for them. And, like you said, they didn't manufacture the hype, but they are certainly manipulating it very well. And I don't mean to use the word manipulating in like some kind of diabolical framework, but they are using it to their advantage. And, maybe a less thoughtful team or an inexperienced team would want to announce that they're partnering with Nike before the mint. But they knew they were going to mint out. We all knew they were going to mint out. They had their hiccups, which, will be forgotten in time. But we knew they were going to mint out. And then they let everything kind of just simmer very briefly and said, oh, yeah, by the way, Nike. And boom, now we're back in it again. And, if they continue to have these well thought out strategies of things that are actually real, and this isn't some bullshit roadmap that's like, oh, yeah, in 2 years, we plan to have a skyscraper built in downtown New York. These are real things that are happening with them. And if there is more to come, then this project is it's going to continue to do pretty spectacular things, much to many's chagrin, but it is what it is.
Yeah. A lot of liquidity coming out of the market into CloneX yesterday, but
there isn't, because there were a lot of people that minted these for 0.05, and they're going to be more than happy to take their $50,000 profit and redeploy. And buy 80 lemons. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Perfect example. No, I mean, there's a lot of people that got in on this really cheap. It wasn't people that have 3 ETH of liquidity that are now going to be able to sell it for 9 ETH of liquidity. That, there were people that really did win the jackpot on this one. Some of them are going to be long-term convicted holders, and some are going to gladly take the money. And, maybe they have a great Christmas, or maybe they buy some more JPEGs. No idea what they decide to do with it. But I don't think it's going to destroy liquidity as much as we think. These were very low cost to produce.
Yep.
So great topic. And we will definitely dive in more eventually. We'll see. I'm knowing this space, there's going to be more news today, and it's going to be an entire show. So we're actually running about an hour now. I think we're pretty much at the point where, unless you want to talk about anything real quick, we can start getting people to put their hands up.
Yeah. Bring on the AMA. I just, my brain is fried from yesterday, but in a good way. So I think we're looking forward today to the Pet Hooligans drop, which is going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern, if I am not mistaken. This thing's getting a little hype right now. It opened at like a 0.2 floor yesterday when the pre started. It's sitting about 0.4 right now. This is a game, and our resident game genius, Lemonukis, which is Lucas, he really loves this project. So anytime he loves a game, I want to take a look. I'm not sure how affordable it is pre-reveal at 0.4. Maybe it's better to snipe some afterwards, but that's the big drop everyone's watching at 5 p.m. Eastern time today.
Yeah, so
morning, Cass.
Alpha Minters have some mixed feelings about hooligans right now, but I think we touched on that yesterday. So
they did a weird whitelisting process with 2 submission channels, missed up the first one, and then people who didn't submit to the second weren't added, which were many AlphaMint members, which definitely sucks. Not cool.
GM Cass.
GM, how are we?
Great. How you doing today?
Can you hear me? Yeah, had some rest, had a good night last night. Hey, Dylan is sick, you know. Dylan is sick. Oh my days, Dylan is sick. But anyway, that's neither here or there.
Shout out to Tropics.
That would be DJ Tropics for everyone listening out there. A CloneX whale, an ardent CloneX supporter who is probably still floating on cloud 9 right now. Who knows if he even went to sleep.
He was flying last night, and it really showed in his music. He was flying last night because I think when he got on stage, it was like, what? And it was like, you heard about Nike? And I was like, what about Nike? And it was like, artifacts. And I was like, nah. Yeah. And we had a whole conversation about that. He was gassed. And Mike mistaken.
Cass, you're actually cutting out a little bit this morning.
Oh, can you hear me now? Is that better?
Seems to be.
Hello, hello, hello.
There we go.
Have you got me now?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, you're fine. We can hear you.
Mic drop, Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi mic drop today, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, they are minting. That's right. Yeah, if you got on the whitelist, that's right.
Yeah.
A bunch of. I think a bunch of AlphaMint members filled out the form. It was like a quick click thing. You had to be as fast as possible, and then they didn't even tell you if you got it. You kind of just have to go try today, right? You don't know.
Oh no! If you go on Pepsi Max /mint, your wallet's connected, and it will tell you if you're on there or not.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Because I think for some people it was like you never made it, but then for some people it was time to be patient. You'll find out soon if you made it or not. So
gotcha.
Yeah, and that was it.
Really. I love those games.
I can't wait. I think that's the next one I'm excited for, really. And obviously, you know, the whole wolves thing. And another thing I was gonna say, just off topic, there's a lot of wolf derivatives since a certain Star Wolves came out, like loads. I'm thinking like,
no comment.
I don't even remember the names of them anymore. Do any of them?
Oh, there's so many.
Well, there was a pretty successful one named Wolf Game that did pretty well, yeah. But that was
very
really
well
derivative.
For the creator.
Yeah.
No,
what did he cash out? 15 million bucks or something?
150.
No. 100. No.
Yeah.
150 million dollars. There's not a fucking.
That was the report. I don't know if it was all his, but
can we get a fact check on this?
Yeah, we need a producer.
Yeah.
Jamie,
pull it up. Anyways, yeah, lots of wolf stuff going on.
Yeah, just there's absolutely loads. I mean, every invite I seem to be getting is something to do with wolves, and especially
Did you see the new command in the Star Wolves chat? ! HAL XP. I didn't even know what that meant. I saw someone typed it in the Star Wolves project thread. HAL XP. That's very interesting.
Did they?
That's
what did that
like
do?
A little leak.
Anything
I don't know.
Happen? Oh, interesting.
Ooh. Nothing happened. Well, not in the AlphaMint server. I'm just saying that it was leaked by a team member. That seems relevant if people are keeping clues. If they're stacking clues,
you're gonna make me jump off the screen and try and find this link. Don't, because I'm gonna end up surfing the internet right about now, guys. Man, don't do this. I'm just about to jump off the call, and I was gonna say that link again. What was it?
No links, nothing. Just free market dangling a carrot.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Cass.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Can you dangle that carrot one more time before I go? Please,
Go check
please.
out the Star Wars project chat. It's in the Moon Lounge. Go check it out. Star Wars
Yeah,
project.
for
Oh,
anybody
you
that's looking to what we're referring to, this isn't a secret thing. You just go into Project Chat and join the thread that's created on there.
For Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Thanks so
guys.
much, Cass. We will, I'm sure, talk to you soon. Josh, GM,
GM.
rocking
Man,
a
what a-
shroom head lemon.
Look at that. Apropos.
You can't write this
I
stuff.
know. What a solid poll, right? I mean, the stars have aligned.
Yeah, this was my favorite sneak peek before lemons dropped was the mushroom heads. Like I said to myself, if I could get anyone, it would be the ruby mushroom head he had previewed in the sneak peeks, and I may or may not have a pretty large bid on it right now, which is not being accepted to my chagrin. But I love the looking good there, Josh.
Thank you. Looking pretty good yourself, both of you guys. I
Thank
love
you.
The ice cream head, pulled one of those. I did not get a samurai. I tried to get the double samurai, bid a couple times.
Oh
but-
yeah, I ended up with a matching purple samurai armor on another one, but it wasn't meant to be for the double. But I do like the 3D glasses under there.
Oh yeah, it's
Good.
a good trade on the lemons. The 3D glasses. Every 3D glasses lemon I've seen looks so good. Ugh.
It's good stuff.
Did you mint that one, Josh?
Oh, you asking me or free market? Yeah. I minted this one. This was one of the 10 that I pulled.
It was just meant to be, eh?
I know, right? Just one of those things.
Amazing.
Well, hey, I got a question for you guys. Well, or maybe more of a topic. We'll see. So these projects come along, Lemonheads, CloneX, these like big things we all get super hyped about on the channel. But I know a lot of people weren't along for the ride on these projects, particularly CloneX. Right? I'm somebody who didn't go in on it despite thinking about it, but just opted out because I didn't have the liquidity. So I think the question I have is like, for people in these situations, you've missed the boat. It's really tempting to FOMO in, but that's usually not the right move. It seems like that's a pretty dangerous move from what I've seen so far, people talking about here in AlphaMint. Is there a way for people to try to ride the tail into the wave on these successful projects? Or is it what is your guys thinking around what you do after you miss a big successful wave like this?
Yeah, most projects or plays that I've FOMO'd into have not gone particularly well. It's one of those things that every once in a while it breaks the right way for you. But like if you were to enter into CloneX right now at 6 ETH after all of the hype has kind of been live for close to 24 hours, it's it's going to be sitting at a tipping point, and it could go the other way. It could, but it's high risk.
It's bad risk reward at that point too.
It is, yeah. The upside is like, maybe it does like a short-term run up to 10 ETH, and now 4 ETH is obviously nothing to shake a stick at, but if something were to break the other way and you go from 6 ETH down to 3 or 2, like especially if you've just sunk a large portion of your liquidity into it, then you're looking for a world of hurt in that regard. If you are sitting on a stack of 200, 300 ETH, like your time frame is going to be substantially different, and you can enter into CloneX whenever you just feel like it, really. But it really depends on your own management of your bankroll. Yeah.
And I still think in NFTs being such a special market as far as how liquid it is, what project doesn't fall 50% of more when volume leaves? I mean, we've seen it. There is no project that is immune to it, with the exception of like 2 blue chips, and even punks have their 50% drawdowns every few months and things like that. So it's just stocks, options, futures. maybe you can make a case for chasing, and you usually shouldn't there either. But I just think in e-liquid art, it is a liquidity trap that you never want to fuck around with. It's just almost never worth chasing, especially something like CloneX. I mean, we know how much money's in the market. How high is this really going to go at this point in time, so to say? So I definitely don't like chasing. But there's, if you like a project like Lemons, which had a lot of hype, it hasn't seen its pump yet. I mean, yeah, it's up 100%, but it I think the risk reward for something like a Lemons or a smaller project that has a lot more upside makes sense. Because even if you do lose 50% and it falls to 0.03, you have the potential to make 10x or better.
Yeah, and lemons are, not unique, but at the particular price point where it's pretty well accessible to almost anybody in the NFT space. Anybody that's actively buying and selling NFTs, likely has enough to pick up one or two of these. Even people just dabbling in testing the waters. Like, if I had a friend today that was like, "Hey, I want to buy some NFTs, but I don't really want to go like full steam in. Like, what would you recommend?" Like, this is the perfect one. Right. And I'm not just saying that to pump my own bags, but the price point is right. So you have a really large pool of people that have access to this. With CloneX sitting at a 6 ETH floor, that pool of people is dramatically smaller. And so, how many of those people are going to continue to just buy 6 ETH, 6 ETH, 6 ETH, 6.5 ETH, 7 ETH? Like, how many of these do they want to actually load up on? And it really is hard to say, right? So I think definitely take a look at the project, where it is in its hype cycle, and I think Lemons is a perfect example of you're not too late on that. Now, if Lemons had ran up to a 0.25 floor last night, and that's where we were at right now, I might be changing my tune a little bit, but no, I mean, it's sitting comfortably 2x above floor after the reveal, and it's got some eyes on it. So, it's a completely different circumstance, but yeah.
I love that. I love it. One other thing too, I'm curious about. You guys have a lot more experience in this than I do. I don't think I've seen a project, at least in my short time here minting, that has maintained a price above floor after reveal like this. I'm not sure if any of the projects I've been in have done that. How unusual is that for Lemons?
1%, maybe. Like, I would say one out of 100 projects, or maybe that's a little crazy. I mean, 1 out of 10 at best.
Yeah, that might be a little high. But
we'll see. Yeah, one out of 10, 1 out of 20 at best. We'll see a pump after mint. I think it is one of the most bullish indications for a project. Yeah, sorry, after reveal. It is one of the most bullish indications for a project's longevity, and it really speaks, I think, to the idea that a project can be sold on 4 sneak peeks, right? And when you're choosing these sneak peeks to sell your project on, you are going to choose the best ones. You want to market this thing and get it out there. You don't know what the commons are going to look like with most projects, and quite frankly, they're usually underwhelming. And then you have the premium built into the rare lottery, which is just almost always present in every project. And then how much demand is there going to be after the reveal versus people who already own it? So those 3 factors contribute to most projects falling post-reveal. I said yesterday on the show I did not think Lemons would fall after the reveal. And there were a few projects we thought about like that. The Little Baby Ape. I'm sorry, I keep getting the name wrong. I think it's Ape Kids. The ones that are 3D.
Yep.
Yeah, Ape Kids Club, I think, was the most recent one that I remembered where I thought the same thing. And even CloneX had that vibe. And the main reason for me was that CloneX had so much FUD already built into it that I didn't think we were going to see that much of a dip after the reveal. And I know the vials are selling at a huge premium.
CloneX did dip quite a bit after the reveal. It was only on the back of the Nike news that it recovered.
No, but it was only at 1.8 for a very brief time.
But the vials were almost 4, were they not? 4 or 5?
Yeah, and I think in relation to the 3 ETH mint price, they never They never saw the post reveal.
Yeah, CloneX is weird to compare, and I'm not trying to take you out
strange.
of your
It's a
zone,
bad
but like the pre-sale was 0.05, and then the public sale was 3 Dutch auction that got cut off, and then they moved it to 2. So like it's hard to say what the mint price actually should be viewed as. That yeah, it's fucking weird. But
they did everything you could do with a mint, which is very impressive. Usually you get to choose one launch method. They did everything.
They did everything. This is one of the instances where art does matter too. You'll get the camps where the art doesn't matter, and the camps where the art is everything, and then you get some people that are in between. But on that reveal, the roadmap is irrelevant. Okay, we're not living in the roadmap. The roadmap should always be already be baked in. If that's what you're looking at, they probably already posted it. But on that reveal, there is that instant second where everybody's looking at these and immediately is like, "Oh shit, these look amazing," or "Oh damn, no, not good," right? And Lemons did that well. Arguably CloneX did that well. Ape Kid Club did that pretty well. Like they looked good. People wanted them. People wanted one for their own, even if it was a floor. Galactic Apes did that really well. Now that's obviously since had its own struggles, but you get these projects where they reveal and you see them and people go, "Oh damn, like I actually want this." And in that split second, the art really is the only thing that matters, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it causes animal instincts, right? It's a very visual, visceral thing. You see this image, you like it, you see other people rushing to buy these images. That's where all logic goes out the door, and you just start focusing only on the art. And when it's underwhelming, when you dump, right? But when it's like, "Oh my God, look at these," well, you get these different reactions.
Yeah, you got it.
We're
That's
all
it.
just chimpanzees trading JPEGs.
That was a great topic, actually, Josh. I appreciate you bringing that up. That was a good question.
Hey, one other quick one before I hop off here. I had a little bit of experience with the Nike due diligence process at one of my old startups, and I just from what I took away from that, there is no way it could have taken less than 3 months for this process to play out. So
yeah, I was gonna say. I know that those like corporate acquisitions of large publicly traded companies, they dig into everything. So, I mean, a partnership with Adidas and the Apes probably could transpire a little bit quicker. But with the second that a large public company is taking in a Web3 based company, like they are going to be crossing all of the check boxes very carefully. So. It doesn't surprise me to hear you say 3 months, and I was actually almost thinking you were going to say 6.
Yeah. I'm the most optimistic I could, and more thinking like physically possible to get it all done within 3 months.
And they'll have a whole team on it too. It'll be 12 people digging through everybody's everything that's ever happened within the company.
Yeah, and I'd also say the cousin or whoever it was that got the information early, or potentially allegedly got the information early. I wouldn't be surprised if Nike was the one that went after them. I don't think anyone would go after them for insider information or something. But the NDAs you have to sign with them are insane and very brutally enforced. So I would not want to be that person right now.
Yeah, I was going to say I could see that person losing their job or their position, but the deal going away, no, I think this is huge and not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think if the content of the drama was a little more substantial, then maybe it would cause some issues. But we're not talking about like murder and intrigue here. Like this was just somebody that bought front ran some JPEGs at the end of the day. And I don't want to say it's not a big deal or advocate for it or anything like that. But actually, Free Market, you didn't even mention it on the show, but in our pre-show, you talked about how there was the Nike executive whose kid was selling sneakers and basically on Instagram Live all the time, just tooting his friggin' horn about how much access he has to Nike and stuff like that, and he never even dropped his mom's name in it, but it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, if you don't know how these work, these like hyped shoe drops, they're very limited. In fact, it's very similar to how NFTs work. And if you have the drop and information early and have access, just like knowing project leaders are getting on the whitelist and stuff like that, well, you get these shoes which instantly have 10x resale value very easily. Well, a Nike executive's son who was privy to this information was using it to his advantage to make, hundreds of thousands of dollars on shoes. Now, is that inside trading? No. Shoes are not securities and neither are JPEGs, but it is unethical. And whoever did it is going to be punished severely by the corporate gods.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you coming up as always, and good to chat with you. And that was a nice little add-on to our discussion from before.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, love it, guys. Thank you. And may the citrus gods shine upon us all.
I love it. Okay, I think at that point we could probably wrap up the show. Don't see any other hands on there. Any other topics you want to just bring in? I guess we didn't really mention the X copy drop is tomorrow. I meant to say that, but Grifters is happening. There was some whitelist spots being given away in the X copy Discord like last week, I think, and it was an absolute shit show as like 30,000 people were trying to answer trivia questions in this Discord, and it was terrible. But I don't think any Moon Loungers got it. There was somebody in the AlphaMint Discord that managed to get one. But yeah, it's dropping in 1 day and 4 hours. So quick math's telling me 3 p.m. tomorrow Eastern. That should be dropping. It looks like there's about 300 of them remaining out of a 666 total supply. Mint price is 2.5 ETH, and X copies are largely considered grails in the NFT space. Some of them have sold for many millions of dollars. So it's something to at least try and get in on. Are you going to be partaking, FMC?
I have a bit of a coping issue with Xcopy. I don't think I'll be partaking in this drop. I couldn't get on the whitelist, and I've just burned by my previous Xcopy exploits in the past that I won't go into. I don't think I'm going to be trying for this drop. Too many memories.
Damn, these things are selling on the secondary too. Looks like some.
What's the floor now?
I don't know because it's part of a larger collection, but it looks like there's been some that have sold for 12 ETH, 12 and a half ETH.
They're pre-reveal or revealed?
They're revealed.
Okay.
Like they're in pre-sale. Some of them aren't revealed. I don't know if I'm looking at this right. No, the grifters. That is what it is. They've been selling for above 10 ETH, so pretty incredible. Scott's coming on. I know that you know a little bit more about this, but this is going to be a gas war to end all gas wars potentially.
Hey, good morning, guys.
GM.
Morning.
No, I was actually coming on. We're about to get a proper gas war in about 10 minutes for the hooligans. I didn't know if you guys wanted to hang out till then, or we could jump in voice chat. But the floor is now 0.7, and we've got 488.
Fuck, man. I don't want to hear that. I'm so mad about this fucking whitelist thing. I tried to keep it in on the show. Scott, you bring it out the worst in me, man. No, but okay, let's run through it real quick. It's the floor is 0.7. The mint price is what?
The mint price is 0.08. You can max mint 5, although it's going to go in the first block. There's 488 left. So
oh God, fuck.
11 exactly when they flip the sale state, we're going to see one block go. And I don't want to speculate on gas, but it's going to be a proper gas war.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to give anybody advice as to how to do this, but I think you might be in agreement that if you're not using a bot on this, you might not even want to try. Am I right in saying that, Scott?
Yeah, I would say this is full expert mode, given that the entire thing is going to mint out in one block.
Yeah. Like if you don't even have it, you won't have a second to speed up, let alone try and make the trans. Like you have to watch that thing. It has to be like the second it goes live, and you're gonna have to full send. And who knows what full send even is, really.
That I was going to say. I don't know for the excitement. So did you not get whitelist? Is that what you're saying?
I was on the original group of people that should have been whitelisted. I was under the impression that I did submit it, and they have the check on the website that shows whether you're not on it. So I got back from the wedding yesterday to go do it and saw that I was not on the whitelist. ventured into their Discord to try and see if I could get some help with it. And in very plain, clear letters, they basically said, it's over. Don't even bother opening a support ticket. We're not answering anything. Like, if you're not on it at this point, you're not getting it. And it was kind of just a piss off to the point where, like, I mean, whatever. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but now I'm having that deep-seated part of me that's fearing watching this go parabolic, because I would have minted it. It's what was the max mint on the whitelist? I think it was 2. I could have got as well.
I think it might have been, no, it was 3. So I mean, it definitely shows the value of getting on a whitelist. You could mint 3 of these with no gas.
I know. I mean, it's so powerful. I mean, I was one of the first 888 in that Discord. Like, it was a foregone conclusion that I was going to be able to mint these, and like, they won't do anything for me at this point, especially not now. But it definitely burns a little bit. So, I guess that's in about 7 minutes. So why don't we wrap up the show? Anybody in the Moon Lounge that wants to jump into the voice chat and at least participate in this going live, we will do that. Free Market, you wanna finish this off here? He is muted, so I'll just say it for him. Good luck at the tables. We'll see any Moon Loungers down in the voice chat if you're participating in the My Pet Hooligan. If nothing else, it should be exciting to watch. But yeah, thanks so much. Again, we always record these for YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. They go up shortly here after the show ending, and we look forward to doing it again tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.